is the accessible scheme of the O.C.G, and I'm back playing more, if you guessed it. Dark Souls Remastered. I hate how confusing the layout of this area is, I really fucking do. I'm your dream come true. That's where I already came from. So fucking close. It's like over that way. Ah, fuck, that's right. I think there's a way to slide the one bookshelves over. Oh, God. I need to look. Aha, okay. Yeah, okay. No, I wonder. I gotta find a path down to it, okay. It's on the second level. Okay, I'm gonna take this out. There it is, right there. Oh shit, that one's bad. Fuck. I need your dream come true. Oh, I wonder. Oh, wait a minute, okay, okay. fucking finally. And this opens up a shortcut. Make my life way fucking easier. Booyah. Crystal Ember. I'm pretty sure that allows magic imbuement. Yeah, that's a mimic. Here we go. See, it leads outside. But I'm not gonna do that yet. The reason for that is really fucking simple. I can use this key to go free Big Hat Logan, and not only will he help me out, but he gives you a Fighter Keeper soul. Here we go.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm saved. That makes twice. I must be sure to repay you. I will visit the archives. If I discover any new spells, I shall share them with you. Prepare to be impressed by the onward march of sorcery. Hello. Don't mind me. Go on ahead. I'll head out soon. I wish to lay down my plans before I visit the archives.
Fucking sweet, I got a new Firekeeper soul.
Forgive me. I am impure. Please, leave. I wish not.
Sweet. Yeah, now we're in the Crystal Woods. Crystal Woods. Ah, that's a big improvement. fucking place. Crazy one. Yeah, thankfully most of those golems are optional. So I can honestly just ignore them. Yeah, the gold golems are significantly tougher. Fuck! Fucking God! Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. Anyways, watch on this video too. Yeah. Fucking invisible paths, man. It's just fucking evil. Oh, thank fuck. God, that's nerve-wracking as fuck. Oh, come on! Ugh. He's really coming all the way down here. Thankfully, he can't get in this crevice. Come on.
That's an odd ember you have there. Ah, I know what you were thinking. But I'm no good with those. It won't be easy, but I'm afraid you'll have to look for someone else.
Yeah, the fucking Smith and Orlando. I want to see if like your black iron armor is good long term. Sorry. Ooh.
Don't get yourself... No.
Oh wait, hold on. That's right, I forgot about that. Hold on a second.
What you need it? Oh yeah, it is said to house the grave of Sir Artorius, the Abyss Walker. Only, of those who ventured into the forest, none has returned. Oh yes, it only... I'll be seeing you next week.
Like, surprise, motherfucker! I'm back! And just like that, he's mortal. Shit. Woo! Fuck you, Steve, you crystal bitch! My new dream come true.
I thought maybe. Are you back from plenty of it here? Much obliged, I think.
That's right. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna go to any one of them, and I remembered I need the Abyss Ring. Which I bought Artorias' crest, so okay. Thankfully, it's not that far. Hiya, dream come true. Boom, boom, bada, boom, 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 boom. Okay. Fuck, hold on, I'm actually gonna go do the Painted World. Fun fact, the Painted World was the first ever thing they worked on for Dark Souls. They wanted to get a feel for what the game would be like, so that's the first area they wound up creating. But that's the problem, is they didn't design it to connect to anywhere, so they're like, well, where do we put it then? And that's when they decided to make it the Painted World so it was unconnected. Look at how long it took that to go away. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, that's a fucking trap. You think that dragon's dead, and it turns out it's not, but you actually need to kill it, though. I don't want to go there yet, because I'm trying to find the fucking shortcut. If I knew to come through, you wonder. Oh, god damn it. Hey, what's up, bro? Now I can go and try and kill the undead dragon. Oh, hey, bro. Fuck you, bro. And you'll find your dream on. Oh yeah. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. You have to attack this thing in a very particular fucking way to get it to fucking notice you. Oh, great. So that's fine. Not a big deal. I'm right there. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to get that item over there. Hey, it's humanity. That's actually a good item to get. Can you even aim the bow in Dark Souls 1? I forget. Hold on, let me check that out. This is... Oh, shit. Okay. No wonder I was having a problem. You can't freely aim a crossbow, which I think is... Oh my god, I can't aim! Oh! It's fucking wild to me. Fuck. There's a way to hit that dragon, and I'm like, I've beaten this game, and I've beaten it a few times, but it's been a fucking while since I played it. Hold on. Dark Souls is a game that I would recommend you play with a guide. And that's actually the creator's advice, too. He wanted it to be a community effort where the community would find solutions to stuff and help each other. So the fucking creator of Dark Souls, literally designed it to be people would find stuff and then they would pass that information along to other people. So, you might catch people saying, well, you're a fucking noob if you use a guide to play Dark Souls. Yeah, if by noob you mean the way the creator intended for you to play the game. But people always think they fucking know better. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, see, as soon as I put it under the dragon, the bottom head pops up. Also, it's kind of weird that, like, that's the bottom half of the dragon, and it's technically still breathing. That's its legs. You know? Just saying, it's kind of weird. Oh. Okay. There we go. Okay. I got this. And that's like... Can you even kill these things? That's just so strange, man. Let me see what you're saying. I intend to stream Dying Light 2. Especially since they made the big ass parkour update. The problem is that at this point it has been 6 or 7 months since I last played it. And I kind of got out of the loop. And I've contemplated playing it again. Or also just playing the first game again. And just doing both of them. But to answer your question, either Dying Light 1 or Dying Light 2, I'm going to be playing soon, one or the other. It's just like Dying Light's one of those games where you get out of it and it's hard to jump back in. There's some games you can play and you leave for a while and you come back and you can just jump right in. Dying Light 2 is not one of those games.
Who art thou? One of us thou art not. If thou hast misstepped into this world, plunge down from the plank and hurry home. If thou seekest I, thine desires shall be requited not. Thou must returneth whence thou came. I beg of thee. I expected as much from thee. Why dost thee hurry toward thine death?
Yeah, that's what you think.
But why? What seeketh thee?
First try, bitches! Woo! But yes, I do appreciate you watching. Like I said, and I am going to get back to it. So. Now that I got that area done. Okay, now. Yeah, another optional area I can do. Well, if you're still listening at this point. Yeah. And I do, like, if you had wanted me to play Dark Souls, not, what am I saying, not Dark Souls, see, it's Dying Light, Dark Souls, D, but if you had wanted me to play, you know, Dying Light, you could have said something before. Like, I generally try, sorry, word vomit, I generally try to do what people ask me to. If I am streaming, and people like my stuff, and I own the game, I will generally try to accommodate them and play what they ask me to, within reason. Obviously, if I don't own the game, or if I really, really just don't want to, I won't. But if, like, hey, a bunch of people are like, hey, I want to see you play Dying Light, I'll play Dying Light. It's that simple. I need to put my phone back on the charger because it's about to fucking die. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. And I'm not even really coming to New London Ruins. Going out of Blacktown. Otherwise known as the worst fucking area in this game. Now, some people like to debate, you know, what areas are optional in Dark Souls, because the way that Dark Souls is structured, you can skip through a lot of areas, go in and around, and yada, 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 and go to areas in different order, go to areas in different orders. But to me, it's a really simple thing. In order for it to be an optional area, you need to never need to visit it to complete the game. And I mean that in the sense that you need to never complete it, or never need to go through it under normal circumstances, okay? People, through glitches, can skip a lot of areas in that game. But that is not the developer's intended method, and that's not what 99% of fucking people who play are gonna do. What I mean is, if the developer intends for you to go through the area to finish the game, and you have to, ordinarily, then I consider it a mandatory area. The speedrunners can literally use glitches and break the game to skip like 95% of a game. Just so is the whole game optional? No. Okay, most people aren't going to be able to do that. So for most people, you know, That's what an optional area is. Painted world. You never have to fucking set foot in the painted world. Literally ever. So it's optional. Yeah, you know, I understand. But see, you know, that's the whole thing, man. Is you're not telling me what to stream. You're asking. There's a difference. Like if you were like, you need to stream Dying Light 2. Yeah, no, I can understand. I would be like, no, fuck you. That's, you know, I'm, you know, you're not the boss of me. Okay? But saying, hey, would you, is different than saying you need to. It's all on how you approach it, man. And like I said, if somebody politely asks me to play something, and like I said, I don't, like, I own the game, and I am not opposed to it, sometimes I just, like, no, I don't feel like playing that, you know, I don't want to. Most of the time, I'm like, okay. Because I like to stream, and people like, you know, hopefully will like watching me stream. So, yeah, that's a mimic. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. It was like, normally you can tell if it's a mimic, because in Dark Souls, if it's a good chest, the chain will go like this and curve away from you, and in Dark Souls, if it's a mimic, the chain will come towards you. So, away from you, good. Towards you, bad. But it was like, the chain is clipping through the terrain, so it looked to me like it was coming my way. The Great Hollow. Yeah, see, this is an optional area. You never have to go through this area. Fucking ever. Yeah, like I said, you know, I have no problem playing Dying Light, man. I am either going to play the first game or the second here soon. I'm either going to play through the first one and the second game back to back, or just skip to the second one. I'm still deciding. I was honestly kind of disappointed that they delayed the DLC, second DLC. That was the one I was really waiting on. Because it's essentially going to be the following for Dying Light 2. But, you know, what they say, you know, it's an old trope, but it holds true, really. You know, bad game is a bad game forever, but a delayed game can eventually be good. And they did actually delay the following. They did actually delay the following in the original game. So, you know, and the following was fucking great. The following was almost like its own game. If they could do like the following in Dying Light 2, that would be fucking great. Like, I love the following. It honestly is probably one of my all-time favorite game DLCs. It's almost like a separate game with the map size and taking place after the end of the main story and being so big. You know, it was super ambitious. I loved the Doom Buggy. I like how it felt distinctly different in the main game. I like pretty much everything about the following. So, and they were showing countryside and shit in the pics we've seen. So it looks like it's going to be something similar to that, which is great. Because you see, in Dying Light 2, you see this giant countryside, but you don't ever really go into it. So... I've also, noticed, a lot of hate towards Dying Light 2 that I don't really understand. Yeah, the new update made a huge difference. I agree. I actually tested it out after the update. I went around and I played it and tried the parkour. It is a big difference. But, I keep seeing the sentimentality that, Dying Light 2 isn't as good as the first game, or they need to fix Dying Light 2, and I just really disagree with that. I love Dying Light, and I played it extensively, but I honestly think that fucking Dying Light 2 is better than the first game in, every conceivable way. I don't understand where that's coming from. And I'm not talking about now. When it launched, I thought it was better. Dying Light 2 was good as is. Yes, they've continued to patch the game, and they've continued to add new stuff and tweak it and make it better, but it's important to note that it doesn't feel like they did that because they had to, okay? When you hear that, oh, they had to patch it, months and months of patching, you think, oh, man, it must be unfinished. No. I think Dying Light... I think Dying Light 2 was finished at launch. It was a little bit buggy, but it was nothing game-breaking. And it, so they're not fixing a bad game. They're making a good game better, and there's a difference. They spent the past couple months patching Jedi Survivor, and in that case, that's because they launched Jedi Survivor way too fucking soon. It was not ready, and it was broken. There's a difference there, so... I actually think that Dying Light 2 was kind of like a sleeper hit from 2022, because it kind of got ignored. It came out in the same month that Elden Ring and Forbidden West came out. And Elden Ring and Forbidden West were both huge fucking games. Elden Ring was a runaway success. It was all everybody was talking about. It went fucking mainstream. It sold a crazy amount. So, I feel like Dying Light 2 kind of got overshadowed by those two games, because they didn't have the marketing budget that Dying Light 2 did. Or not Dying Light 2, I'm sorry. Elden Ring and Forbidden West. So, people would talk about games of the year for 2022, and they'd be like, hey, what's going to be game of the year? It's going to be Elden Ring, it's going to be Forbidden West, and nobody would even mention Dying Light 2, and I'm like, that sucks. Dying Light 2 should absolutely be mentioned in that conversation. It was one of the best games, if you ask me. Yeah, these fucking mushroom dudes. Fun guys. Shit. Oh well. I'm right there, it's not that big a deal. So, I've been a big proponent of Dying Light 2 from, the beginning. And a good chunk of that is just because I fucking like what I like. I cannot stand when people rely on others to tell them what to like. If they need somebody else to like a game to like it, no. You've already failed. I mean, I have YouTubers I like. Of course I do. Some YouTubers I really enjoy. And I'll watch their opinions on games. And I'll, and usually if a YouTuber I like says, I like this game, I'd be like, okay, well that makes me more inclined to check it out. But I don't treat it as the gospel, like, well, this guy said that he didn't like the game, therefore I'm not going to play it. This YouTuber said he didn't like the game, guys. This critic said he didn't like it. I can't play it anymore. Like, these people need reviewers to like it, or critics to like it, for them to play it. And, like, I just can't understand that, man. Make up your own mind. People will be like, well, some people can't afford the games. That's true, okay? But then what you do then is you watch gameplay, not reviews. You watch unedited gameplay. And you can usually, if you watch enough of the gameplay, usually spoiler-free, like just general gameplay, not like big story moments, you can get a sense, am I going to like this? Because you know what you're going to like. And that way, you can see the game without having to buy it. And thankfully, a lot of games now have been having demos, so honestly, demos are amazing, and it really sucked how, like, the gaming industry kind of gave up on demos for a while. And I'm great to see that, like, we're starting to re-embrace demos now in the gaming industry, and we're actually getting demos now, again. There was a time when there was, like, almost no demos whatsoever for fucking anything. And, like, it really gives me joy to see stuff like, Final Fantasy and all these other games get demos, because if the big companies do it, the industry will follow suit. And, certain people will say stuff like, oh, demos don't work. The fuck they don't! Okay? There was reports that Square Enix were very worried about the pre-order sales for Final Fantasy 16, and then they dropped a demo. They dropped a rather large demo for 16, and that demo not only generated a shit ton of hype, it convinced people to play the game. I know a bunch of people, man, that would not play Final Fantasy 16 until they played the demo. They're like, okay, this demo convinced me. And the game wound up being a huge sales success. Like, it wound up selling over 3 million copies already. Yo, see what you're saying. No, I actually agree. I like the story in Dying Light 2. I don't really understand people's complaints. Like I said, I make up my own mind. I don't let other people decide what I should fucking buy. So, I like Dying Light 2. I always like Dying Light 2. And every critic in the world could be like, well, I think Dying Light 2 is a bad game. I would not give a shit. In fact, like, I think we put too much basis on reviews. Especially because there's like this whole thing going around where we will say games journalists. It's become a running joke to say games journalists because people think that most games journalists suck now. So, people make fun of games journalists and think that they suck, but they still value their reviews. Kind of weird. But, I think you shouldn't base your opinion on a game on what a critic says, especially with most critics sucking. If you're going to look at consensus, look at the fan base. Okay? Because games should always target their fan base. If you want to be honest, okay, they didn't make Dying Light 2 for fucking critics. They made Dying Light 2 for Dying Light fans. As they should. Dying Light fans are the ones that are going to play your game. I mean, critics not only are they not the core audience of your game, not only do most game critics suck, but most game critics aren't even paying your game. You're giving them a free copy, which I understand why they do that, but I'm still saying, you know, who do you care more about? Their opinion. The person who you gave them a free copy so they had nothing to lose, or the person who was willing to go stand in line and pay fucking $70 for your game at launch? I feel like the answer should be self-evident. Oh, God. Fucking mushrooms. That's the problem with these fun guys. Like, they hit insanely hard. Fucking finally. Holy shit. So, you know, that, like I said, that's my thing. Like, I like Dying Light 2. So, you know, fuck what the critics say. And honestly, the general consensus from the fans is that they like Dying Light 2. That's all you need to know. And that's honestly where a large part of the problem started to come into play, is when game developers started to care more about what critics thought than what their own fans thought. Your fans should always come first. Like, we started, like, it's not just games, and, you know, I'm not trying to rant, but it's like movies, shows, TVs, they've started to push so heavily for newcomers. And, you know, I understand, you want to get more people to watch your show, more people to buy your game, more people to get tickets to your movie. But they started to push for newcomers at the expense of the fan base, and no! First and foremost, you should always market your game, your movie, your show for the fans. Those are the people that are going to put money in your wallet. Those are the people that are going to buy your game fucking midnight. They're going to have it preloaded. 99% of newcomers don't give a fuck about your game. I mean, they would. I mean, why would they? Why would they? And a lot of game series have gotten into trouble because they stopped catering to their fans. You know, meanwhile, like, and you know, that's why fucking, take these games. Take the Souls games. Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne. Everybody, all these game critics keep bitching about easy mode, okay? And From Software is like, no! And they're just like, well, why won't they? Well, because the fans of the game don't want an easy mode, and they're going to listen to them over you because they have their fucking priorities straight. Yeah, I forgot there's a Hydra here. know? And you get the sense that Dying Light, Techland, know their fan base, they care about their fans, and that's who gets the final say. Because, you know, I follow Techland on Twitter, and just about anyone who messages them or comments on their posts, they try to respond to as many people as they possibly can. They listen to fan feedback, and you can generally tell that just about everything the fans have asked for, they've tried to add. They asked for tweaks to melee combat. They got them. They asked for craftable weapons. They got them. They asked for better nighttime stuff and better volatiles. They got them. Like, the Dying Light people clearly value the fans. And, you know, like, and it's good that they do that. You know, because they said, you know, one of the reasons why they supported Dying Light 1 for so long, and Dying Light 2, they plan to support it for at least 5 years, what they said, is because they noticed, like, take Dying Light 1, they noticed that after 3 years, 80% of the long-term players were still playing. They found that the game, even 3 years after launch, had a fucking ridiculous amount of people still playing it. And that's why they started bringing out new modes, they started bringing out new content for Dying Light 1, you know, like all these new bundles and shit. For a while it was just the following, because they saw that people were still playing. Like, a lot. Like, normally, after 3 or 4 years a game has been on the market, only a small amount of people are playing. They saw there was huge amounts of people still playing Dying Light. So, you know, they realized, man, it's been 3 years and these people are still playing all the time. This is our core fan base. Let's make them happy. And it kind of bothers me because it's like game developers have gotten like so, game critics and developers have gotten so fucking like obsessed with the Metacritic score that it's like you'll see a game coming out or about to come out and it's like, what do you think the Metacritic score will be? Not, do you think the game will be good? It's, do you think it will get high reviews? And people are like taking bets. Will it be 80s? Will it be 90? What, like, people are betting on a racing horse. It's fucking weird. And they'll put a, like, if a game gets a 90 Metacritic, it's like, oh my god! And it, like, they put too much fucking stock on review scores. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying review scores aren't important, okay? They can give you general consensus. If a game is blatantly unfinished, you can find review scores and say, oh, okay, so the game is clearly not ready to launch. And they rushed it, and it gives you a heads up. You can get a consensus, but I'm saying reviews are not the end-all, be-all, though. And, like, okay, so, for me personally, the fan base means more to me than the opinion of some fucking critic that I don't know. Okay, so, what I mean is, if I was to come to you, Angry Tiger, and I asked you, did you like Dying Light 2? And you said, yeah. You, as a player of the game, who cares about Dying Light, your opinion would matter more to me than some fucking game critic who more than likely doesn't even care. And, I understand why they give people review codes. I get it. But at the same time, it eliminates any and all fucking risk. They say money talks. Put your money where your mouth is. But with the fuck my weapons. low durability. Son of a bitch. Oh, of course, my weapon broke. Okay. No biggie. I can just repair it. You know, like, it's frustrating. It's like people are obsessed. Like, if the game doesn't get a high Metacritic, it's not good. And like I said, and you know, maybe that would hold more stock, man, if the Metacritic games journalists didn't suck so bad. Games journalists suck. I can count on like one hand the amount of times that I agreed with games journalists recently. They suck now. Like, games journalists used to genuinely love games, but like now, I get the feeling that most of these games journalists wanted to be real journalists, but they couldn't cut it, so they just came to games journalism because it's not about the game. Like, reading Final Fantasy 16, Game Informer. I grew up in the Game Informer era, okay? I used to get Game Informer in the fucking mail, back when that shit meant something. And as a kid, I used to wait every fucking month. I couldn't wait to read Game Informer, man. They used to make real pieces. They were like real journalist-level articles. But now, I fucking open up Game Informer, and I'm reading the Final Fantasy 16 review, and they're saying how they wish that they had talked more about real-world issues, and more about slavery with black people, because in Final Fantasy 16 they have slaves, but it's not because of the color of their skin, it's because they can use magic. They're called bearers. Okay? So it's like these people who can use magic are enslaved. Okay? And they're like, well, the game's misstep is that they didn't have black people as slaves in the game. And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with if the game is good or not? Why does my fantasy game, Final Fantasy, have to have real-world issues in it? That's why it's called fantasy, bro. Like, what next? Do we need to have real-world politics in fucking Lord of the Rings? Do we need to have Democrats and Republicans pop up in Lord of the Rings for you to like it? It's a fantasy story, okay? You summon fucking monsters, you ride giant birds. It doesn't need to be realistic. And they spent more time talking about the fucking politics behind the game than the actual game itself. Who the fuck cares about that shit? I don't. Tell me what you thought about the game. And when I say tell me what you think about the game, I don't mean tell me what you wish was in the game, okay? Because that's a problem that a lot of reviewers have. Is they'll judge a game by what they wish was in it. You can't judge a game by what you wish was in it. You have to judge a game by what is in it. Well, this movie didn't have what I think it should have in it, so a 0 out of 10. No, you have to judge it by what it is. Do I like what's in this movie? Okay? Otherwise, I could just say, like, this action movie doesn't have enough horror, guys. And you would say, well, it's not gonna have horror in it because it's an action movie. And you'd be absolutely right. But fucking critics these days are like, oh, this game doesn't have what I want it to have, so it's bad automatically. You have to judge a game by what's actually fucking in it. And I cannot believe that I need to say that. That should just go without fucking saying. Like, Kotaku, okay? Kotaku is known for fucking shit takes, okay? They're literally the fucking joke of the internet. When people think about bad game journalism, they think about Kotaku. I'll never forget, okay? They reviewed the PS5. Kotaku reviewed the PS5. And this is a console review, okay? And unannounced, without any fucking warning, they jumped into a 3-paragraph. Let me repeat that. A 3-paragraph thing about the country, the politics of the country, and COVID. They spent more time on the PS5 review talking about COVID and life insurance and medical stuff in America than they did actually talking about the PS5. Okay, it's like this point, man, why are you even doing game reviews? Write a fucking blog. Okay? Go cry in a journal. You know, and it would have been bad, regardless, to include that shit, okay? Because you're reviewing a piece of hardware. But if it would have been okay if they put it, like, in a separate tab. Like, you know, my thoughts on the situation. You know, like a separate thing. So you know this is a side thing. Or if the author had put it on, like, his personal blog. He can talk about whatever the fuck he wants. But, like, it's literally, I know you want to hear about the technical specs of the PS5, but let me give you this diatribe instead. And since there's no delineation where this begins and ends, you basically have to read the whole thing to get to the information you're fucking after. And I'm pretty sure that's this option already done. Yeah, sorry, like, stuff like that just upsets me. And that's what I'm talking about. So, I don't think that you should let critics decide what you buy regardless, but I really don't think when these critics are that fucking dumb that they should be trusted. Hold on, I'm trying to... There's so many missables in this game. You know, and I'll also say this. Politics have no fucking place in games. Games are entertainment. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you fall on, left, right, in the middle, keep your shit out of the fucking games, okay? If I wanted to engage in politics, I would watch fucking political footage. I'd go to a Democratic Party, man. I play a game, play a fucking game. Keep your shit out of the games. And you know, people say, well, all kinds of games are political. Yeah, but the games they're talking about did it right. Okay? Like, BioShock is political. Yeah, BioShock's political. But BioShock doesn't talk about modern shit. BioShock talks about fucking Andrew Ryan from the 50s. Okay? And BioShock puts the most stock on being a good game first and a message after, okay? You can clearly tell when that priority is telling a message or being a good game. It should always be a good game first, and then everything else after. And you can have political themes in a game without ramming it down your throat. You know, and I'm not just saying like they should keep politics with people I don't agree with. Even politics that I agree with, I would still say keep them out of the game because it's not the fucking place for it. Oh, I should have dropped my lid. Oh, God. And, like, people throw around these terms like you should care. Well, this fucking neckbeard in his mom's basement said he didn't like the game. Okay? And? Stone Dragon, that's cool. Trying to figure out. Like, in the second half of the game, you can do things in many orders, so it's always a question of what order you should do things. I'm trying to think that through. Okay. Sunlight Altar. Oh, I don't. Archives, Catacombs, Dead Parish. Fuck it. Let's go down to New Londo, otherwise known as fucking Ghost City, baby. Yeah, exactly. And you know, when most people say, I don't want a game to get political, what they mean is I don't want a game to get political in a way I don't agree with. Okay? I mean, I don't want a game to get political at all, ever, in any way. Even if you had a game and it had all my political beliefs in it, I would still say no. This is not the fucking place for it. So sorry, my nose is congested, so I'm taking out of it. You know, and furthermore, like I said, I just get tired of it. Games are to entertain. They are not a soapbox. They are not for you to be able to, have your fucking politics. Let it go. Furthermore, politics are boring. Honestly, there are people who like talking about politics. That's wild to me. Okay? Politics are like taking out the trash or vacuuming. Do you need to? Yes, occasionally you do. Occasionally we've got to talk about politics. Obviously, we have to. Sometimes it comes up. Sometimes you need to talk about things, present issues we face in the world, okay? But it's not something you should like talking about. And people who like to talk about politics, they enjoy it, that's like their whole life, freak me out. Yeah, the thing about these ghosts, if you don't have the transient curse or a cursed weapon, you cannot hurt these ghosts. And in fact, you are like, if you're not playing with a guide, you're like guaranteed to come down here and fucking die, because you come down here thinking, oh, okay, and then you find out, I cannot damage anything here. Shit. And the enemies here are also really strong, and they're kind of fucked up, like they can reach through walls. They're one of the only enemies in this game that can not only go through walls, but can reach through walls. They have these giant fucking extendy arms. So, you can just be walking along and then get killed from somebody below you, or above you. See? At this point, though, I have got very good gear. I know what I'm doing, and I have transient curse. So, these ghosts can get fucked. See, there's one above me right now. See? Like, their arms fucking crazy stretch, man. Yeah, and you think this is bad. You think you have an idea of how big this area is, and then it turns out you can fucking drain it. Like, it flooded, you drain it, and now there's a bunch more! Yay! Really glad I made that jump. I would have fucking died if I had missed that. Shit, that was close. I will give it this though, the atmosphere for this level is pretty creepy. Fucking weird white ghost bitches stretching arms through walls, blue flames. This is definitely not someplace I'd want to fucking go by myself. See, they even have them attack you while you're on the ladder, which I also think is a bit of a dick move. See, like, most of this is flooded and you drain it and then you can access the rest of it.
Well, this is a surprise. I get few visitors, save for ghosts. You have the Lord Vessel.
Sup?
Very impressive. I know exactly what your intentions are. You seek the four kings, whom I guard over. This is the key to the seal. The four kings slumber in the deepest chamber of the ruins. Use this key to break the seal, and open the floodgates. Oh, and do not forget, the dark wraiths reside in a dark void called the Abyss. But the Abyss is no place for ordinary mortals, although, long ago, the knight Artorius traversed the Abyss.
Yeah. Which I gotta go do that after I drain it. You need the Abyss Walker ring. Fuck. Look at those arms. Yep, slit my throat. Whiny ghost bitch. Fucking jeez. Okay, this is where I already went. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see your veil, dumbass. He's not gonna notice me. Here we go. Time to drain this bitch. Now I need to go do some other shit. Come back. Because if you try to go into the boss's arena without the Abyss Ring, you fucking die. You just die. You don't pass go. You don't collect $200. You don't go straight to jail. You just die.
How about I find it? Yeesh, there's a bit. Oh yeah. I'll be seeing you. Be careful. Well, I've never heard of a black ember. How about leaving that ember with me? I find it strangely fascinating.
You just like the ember because it's black?
Yes, this ember really is something special. I'm already under its spell. I sense great potential indeed. I'll be seeing you in the beacon. Well, you need any... Oh, yeah. Don't get yourself knife.
Now we can go. I can get the Abyss Ring. Yeah, I'm in the minority here, but I actually kind of like Aiden. I mean, I like Crane, but I don't know. It's just like you get way more in-depth look at Crane. Not Crane, sorry, Aiden. Aiden, you get way more in-depth look at Aiden than you do Crane. You know virtually nothing of Crane's backstory before the start of Dying Light. How he joined the agency, where he grew up, nothing. And you don't really get to see much about him either. Like, you don't get a lot of his personal thoughts. Whereas in Dying Light 2, you learn all about Aiden and his motivations. It's very personal, and he has a much more personal stake in the story. Oh shit, Backstab City! Ah, shit. Well, the backstab giveth, and the backstab taketh away. Fuck! Oh, shit. Fuck! Ah! I thought I was dead! And I had like 1 HP left, and then I just got fucking ganked! Oh god, Dark Souls, man. Okay, thank God. Of course, heal them. Fucking bastard. Yeah! Yeah, even the fucking plants want to kill you in this game. good opportunity to take a picture. Yep, you gotta be really careful here, because you fall in that water. That's it for you. Game over. Fuck it, I might as well fight the Hydra. Not in here. That's a long fucking ladder. Man, we thought of climbing that ladder. Especially imagine climbing that ladder in fucking armor. Jeez. Man, I'm carrying about 200 pounds worth of shit on me. Let's climb a half mile up a goddamn ladder. Eh. Okay. Not even sure what the fuck that was. Was that like a giant rat? I don't know. Oh, okay, there's more of them. Okay. Oh, no, there's two of them. Well, shit. Ah, there we go. That's the entrance to the boss fight right there. God damn it. I gave you the benefit of the doubt, you motherfucker. Look, will he be hostile? Just remember, I gave you a chance, bro. Okay, so now I have an idea of a quick way to get to the boss. Yeah. Basically just have to fucking run like hell to this tower. Or ruin. And then go down this way and I keep going and the door will be... Okay. It's cool because this like garden's all fucking evil and overgrown and shit. But when you do the DLC for this, which I'm gonna do, Artorias of the Abyss, you go back in time to when this place was all like beautiful and like sunlit. It's called the Royal Woods. And at first you might not even realize that you're in like back in the past, and you're like, oh shit, I know this layout, but it's like all pretty and not like evil and shit. Now we're gonna fight fucking Sif. Which, not only is this a sad boss fight, because the dog, this giant wolf, is trying to stop people from getting Artorias' stuff. Not because it's bad, but because it fears they'll misuse it. But also because it's a dog. It's a wolf. And I hate any type of thing that makes you kill an animal like a dog or a cat in the game. We've been getting a lot of fucking games where you kill animals, and I'm honestly not a fan. Here's a better character. Although the fact that the dog used the sword is pretty amazing. Also, as you fight him more and more, he gets wounded. Like, I hate that. Alright, I'm going to end this part. I'm going to take a slight break and then be back. Thanks for watching. I have genuinely